Hey guys! So today's video I'm back with kind of a lot of book reviews to go over with you. I haven't done a book review video in a while, so that is what today's is going to be. So because I know that I have so many books to talk about, let's just get into it. My hair is crazy, but I never wear my hair up in any videos, and some people pointed out, and actually what I was doing was exercising and I had my hair down and it was really sweaty, so I pinned a claw clip to the top of my head and this is what it turned out like, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna leave it, let's just roll with it. Also, I feel like I'm very tan today and I'm filming this on a Monday. I am in a wedding this Saturday, so I've been using these like tan towels to self tan. I'm planning on doing a haul which will feature the tan towels, but then also going into a more in-depth review on them and how to use them and what my experience is with them. I've only used them one time so far, so I don't have like a full review yet, but I can definitely tell I'm tanner, and that's why if you feel like I'm really tan, I have not been laying outside because we've been so busy, but got a wedding this Saturday, gotta pull bridesmaid duty, gotta look tan. So disclaimer. Book to talk about that I reviewed. All of these reviews are coming from the month of June. That is how far behind I am on sharing my book reviews with you guys. The first one is Fallen Idol. This is Love and Music in Texas, book 4 from Nikki Lynn Barrett. And Nikki is like a virtual friend of mine. We work together on a lot of blog tours. She runs the blog Storm Goddess Book Reviews, and she's always sharing, like, she has so many posts a day go up. She's sharing all kinds of new books, all kinds of genres, and she also happens to be an author herself, so she pulls blogger and author duty like me. She asked me to review this book for her, Fallen Idol, which was a part of CLP Blog Tours. I have read A Masterpiece of Our Love by her as well. Fallen Idol, it is the 4th book in a series, and I have not read anything else in that series, but it was fine. Everything worked out. I didn't feel like I was lost or confused at any point. I really didn't even feel like I needed to play catch up at all. So I very much think it could be read as a standalone novel. Oh, Kyra Sanders, and she was once like a pretty popular country music star and singer, and there was a really serious accident for which she took the fall for, and that kind of pushed her to get out of the spotlight because there was just so much going on. It was an extremely terrible accident, and now we pick up and she's trying to make a comeback in the country music world, but she keeps getting like almost blackmailed, and she has all these scary incidents happen to her, so it's like someone is trying to keep her out of the spotlight. Of course, there is romance involved, and I really liked the book, and I thought it was fast-paced. Again, even though it was part of a series, I didn't feel like I was lost or confused at all. I liked the romance aspect of it. Sometimes I thought things seemed a little too like crazy or out there, but I had to remind myself we're dealing with a celebrity in the book, and sometimes celebrities live pretty crazy lives and they have crazy things happen to them. So even though there was a few points where I thought things were maybe a little bit too out there for my liking, I tried to keep in mind the tone of the story, and I ended up really enjoying it, and I gave it a 4-star review on Chicklet Plus. And the next book I won't go into a whole lot of depth with because I did feature it in my June favorites videos, which I will link below, but it is the Santangelos, and it's by Jackie Collins. So in my June book favorite video, I talk a lot more about this and why I loved it and a little bit more about it. So won't go into it too much here just because I have so many other books to chat about, but check the description box below and I will leave a link to it. And I'll just say, if you haven't read anything by Jackie Collins or anything from her Santangelo line, you really should, because they're really good. Don't let the big book throw you off. It only took me a few days to finish, so go check it out. The next one that I have is Conquest, and this is by Bijou. And this was also another book I read for CLP Blog Tours. This one was pretty different because it was divided into episodes, and for CLP Blog Tours we got episodes 1 through 3, and there's 10 episodes overall. Now this book is definitely for a more mature audience because it is like an erotica book. So basically the main character has like a sex bucket list, and she has 10 items of like people or professions or a task or something that she wants to do to check off her sex bucket list. So that is why you need to be a more mature audience to read this book. But I read episodes 1 through 3 and I actually really enjoyed them. I thought it was funny. They were short, they were snappy. I thought it was extremely intriguing to get episodes and especially to break them down as she did. I believe 4 through 6 are on Amazon as well. I'm not sure that the other ones are out yet though. But her bucket list items is an older man, a younger man, a teacher, her boss, a woman, a stranger, a threesome, in public, make a sex tape, and dominate a man until he cries. Conquest by Bijou. Next one I have to chat about is The Broken Hearts Society of Sweet 17C, and this is by Kopans. And this is a new adult book, and it follows friends who are starting college and, well, they're roommates, and then they slowly become friends, but new adult because they are, college students and kind of finding their way. And I mentioned in my review that I didn't totally love the cover, and sometimes I can really let the cover get into my head, and I don't want to say I judge a book by its cover because I still read them. I just feel like I go into them thinking something else. But I actually ended up really, really liking this book. It had a lot more depth than maybe I thought it was going to have. I kind of thought it was just going to be a book just solely on, relationships and the start of college and the relationships you go through, but it's about friendship and family, self-identity. I mean, there was a lot of really good topics in there, and I thought it was very well written. It was honestly one from like the first 2 to 3 pages. I was like, oh yes, I judged this book wrong and I'm really gonna like it. So if you're a fan of new adult, I would definitely check out The Broken Heart Society of Sweet 17C by Kopans. What I have is The Idea of Love, and this is by Patti, Callahan, Henry. And first, I absolutely love this cover. I actually had a print copy of it, and I remember like taking a book selfie with it, and I was just like, I adore this cover. But I actually sent it to my mom to read because she has read Patti, Callahan, Henry. So when I mentioned I had The Idea of Love, my mom was like, me. So I sent my mom my copy of it. But this book was pretty interesting to me. And I know I mentioned this in like my mailbox post, but I'm going to read this again. As we like to say in the South, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Ella's life has been completely upended. She's young, beautiful, and deeply in love until her husband dies in a tragic sailing accident while trying to save her. Or so she'll have everyone believe. And I kind of don't want to give away too much of the story because, I went into the book reading the synopsis and thinking something in my head. I'll say in the beginning of the book, I was kind of tripped up a few times, like, okay, wait, I'm not putting all the pieces together. I'm missing something here. What's going on? And it's not until a few chapters in that I really started to understand what the book was about and what was happening, and I found it pretty fascinating. A bit out there, I will say again, and we're not really dealing with any celebrities in this one besides the male romance interest is like a screenwriter for movies and in Hollywood and all that fun stuff, but it basically covers 2 people who fall in love but are just straight up lying to each other the whole time, and it kind of goes through their relationship, the ups and downs, how they try to start to have a relationship through all these lies, when they get discovered for who they really are. And it was really interesting to read. It was interesting to put the pieces together. The main character is also going through a divorce, which served for several interesting moments in the book, some that made me laugh as well. There's also a really great character who I thought had such a good role in the book, and overall I thought it was very intriguing and one that I ended up really enjoying. All right, moving along. We're like halfway through. So the next one is Any Way You Dream It, and this is by Monique McDonell. This was another one with CLP Blog Tours. It says this is an upper crust novel, book 2. I did not read book 1, but again, I didn't feel like I was missing anything or I was misunderstanding anything or anything like that. So definitely can be read as a standalone if you haven't read the first one in the series. Basically, we follow Lucy, who has a high school reunion coming up, and she tells a lie that she is engaged because she's kind of embarrassed about where she is in life right now and, maybe not as far ahead as she had hoped by the time her high school reunion comes along. So she actually gets set up with Chase, who agrees to be like her stand-in fiance for the reunion, and Chase turns out to be like basically every woman's dream. He's very wealthy and he's rich and he's super nice and he treats her really well. We kind of follow the book up through that and go to the high school reunion, and I won't tell you if they pull it off or not because that's always a big thing. Like, will they be caught? Will they not be caught? What's gonna happen? Fall for each other, but of course they can't just like fall for each other and be happy, because what kind of novel would that make? A short one. So it kind of goes to the trials and tribulations of their relationship. Sometimes I was kind of like, what are we waiting for? You guys both like each other. I don't understand what's going on, but I won't give away the ending, but I enjoyed it. I ended up really liking the book. Thought it was a very cute chick lit novel. It did read at a really fast pace for me. I finished it in a short amount of time, so I believe I ended up giving it 4 stars on Chick Lit Plus. Next one that I have is another one that I mentioned in my June favorites video, and it is Dying Brand by Wendy Tyson. If you are a mystery fan, I definitely recommend checking out Wendy Tyson, and her mysteries aren't like suspenseful or thriller mysteries. They lean more towards, I wouldn't say lighthearted, because I don't feel like they're lighthearted, but they aren't like, I don't like super scary books. I don't like to be kept up at night because I'm afraid of every little noise or shadow. And I really love Wendy's books. I've read all of them in the Allison Campbell mystery. This is book 3 in the mystery series, and it is Dying Brand. I will again leave the link to my June book favorites below so you can check out all my thoughts on this one, but it did get 5 stars from me. The next one I have is Things You Won't Say, and a cloud just came over and I lost all my light. Can you guys still see me? Maybe not. Can you see me? Here comes the sun. It's coming back. Okay, wait. It kind of came back a little bit. Now I feel like it's going to go under again. Things You Won't Say by Pekkanen. I listened to this book on audio, and I know I've talked about it a few times in some of my other videos. I think I did a mail call when I'd already started listening to the audiobook, and then I mentioned it in one of my tag videos. I reviewed this, I think, on July 1st, but I know that it's going to go in my July book favorites video because I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was such a moving book. It covers a very serious issue of a white police officer shooting and killing a Hispanic teenager, and it goes through kind of like the chaos that happens when we have a racial shooting in America. I'm sure this comes as no shock that this is a big problem that our society is experiencing for quite some time now. It goes into, we kind of do get both sides of the coin here. And what it really focuses on is the family of the police officer, his marriage with his wife, and how it is affected, how his kids are affected by it, how their town is affected by it. And it was such a good read. I thought it was so powerful. It really made you stop and think. And I just have so many good things to say about it. Again, I know I'll bring it up in my July book favorites video, but if you're looking for one this summer that you really want to get into and have a lot of depth to it, I would say check out Things You Won't Say. And the last one that I have is now a major motion picture. I'm not sure how to pronounce Stacey's last name. Stacey Wiedower? Best-selling romantic comedy author, and this is my first one by her, so it was now a major motion picture. And I thought that was such a cute title. It was very snappy, I thought. It follows Amelia, who after, experiencing heartbreak, writes a novel, and it turns out that it's going to be produced into like this big movie. And she's very nervous about it though, because the book is basically based on this relationship, and she knows if her ex is to see the movie that he's going to know it's about their relationship. And so it kind of goes through that scenario, which I just think is hilarious. It's so much fun reading as an author because that's, what a lot of our dreams are, is to have our book and our baby turned into a major motion picture, have it turned into a movie. And so that was kind of fun to see what a writer, would go through if her book was being turned into a movie. It definitely is, on the chick lit side. There's funny moments, there's sad moments, there's romance, there's a brush with a relationship with a famous movie star that Amelia has, and I thought it was a very enjoyable chick lit read. I think I gave it 4 stars on Chick Lit Plus, And on the flip side from the book that I just mentioned, if you're looking for a lighthearted vacation beach read, I would recommend this one for you. Okay, so that is a wrap up of a few of the latest book reviews that I've done. Hopefully my self-tan didn't freak you guys out too much. I don't think I have any other updates to pass along or anything else to say. Can you guys see my shirt? I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It says wifey. Yeah, my neighbors are walking by right now. Like, what's that girl doing? Great. I have started doing like a blooper reel at the end of some of my videos. I don't think I'm gonna do it in this one just because I'm kind of pressed for time editing wise, but I used one hashtag standard Samantha and one hashtag so Samantha. I think I'm gonna go with so Samantha just because it's shorter. Standard Samantha is like a bajillion letters. But if you guys like the blooper reel, like if you like to see some of my outtakes, please let me know and I'll keep doing that for you. I know a lot of other YouTubers seem to do them, so I thought like now that I'm finally getting more comfortable with editing, I've actually kind of figured out a way to take those outtakes and put them in a separate clip for themselves, so I'm kind of excited about that. So if you guys like that, let me know and I'll keep trying to do it for you in some videos. Yeah, I think that's all I got. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. And I will just see you guys in my next video. Bye!